The Dolphins and Patriots played a very solid football game as the Dolphins get away with the win of 27-24 and really showing, or excuse me, 24-17 and really showing people how versatile they can be in this league. It doesn't have to be with a shootout. It doesn't have to be in a shootout with the Los Angeles Chargers. But they still averaged 6.6 yards per play, talking about the Dolphins against a New England defense that last week held the Eagles to one of their worst offensive performances in recent seasons. And Miami scored touchdowns on 2 of their 3 red zone opportunities as well against this New England defense. They're showing that they can be versatile, they can win shootouts, but they can also put up points against a tough defense at a premium, take the intermediate and short throws to a living to see another day. Mike McDaniel making those adjustments against a very stout Bill Belichick defensive-led culture and defensive, great defensive unit. I mean, Christian Gonzalez got his first pick off Tua, but the Patriots could not turn around and turn that into offense. And again, Bill Belichick did his thing. Listen to this. He played 3 high safety, bracketed Tyreek Hill. I mean, he wasn't going to get beat after what Tyreek did in week 1 against the Chargers. Bill Belichick makes you play left-handed. He takes your best piece away from you. That is Bill's trademark. Miami still had 6 players catch multiple passes, 5 of them having a gain of at least 15 yards on one of those grabs. Raheem Mostert still rushed 18 times for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns in his final 43-yard burst that really put the game away in the fourth. And Tua showed that he can live on the short and intermediate throws. You go look at his passing chart. Not a lot of deep shots. Not a lot of deep plays. That 3 high safety, I'll get to it in a second with the Patriots, was the most that was ever played since the stat was tracked in 2006. Bill Belichick doesn't give a damn about trends and stats and numbers. If that's what he's got to do to take it away from you and win the game, he is absolutely going to do that. No question about it. To his passing chart, a lot of short and intermediate stuff outside the numbers over in the middle of the field. He wasn't throwing on that 3 high safety look. He was not getting beat. Bill was not getting beat by Jalen Waddle and Tua. It just wasn't happening. And the Dolphins actually held the run game in check. Ramondre Stevenson, Ezekiel Elliott, those guys struggled on 20 carries for 63 yards combined. You got Bradley Chubb forcing an early fumble, and then you've even got X Howard as well, picking off Mac Jones at the end of the third quarter. Lord. Sorry, the lady's asking me. Look, I'm on the show so late. She asked me what I want for dinner. I can't ignore her. I'm gonna miss my shot. What do you want from Zaxby's? Chicken finger plate, no slaw, sub toast. I'll be like, yeah, I know. I told you I was gonna be off by 9. She already typing again, like, what you want? You didn't see it. That's where I'm heading. I don't want to cook. No, I don't blame you. All right, y'all. Sorry. Had to get the order placed here on episode 41 so we can continue to have an episode 42. See what she said. She's gonna laugh at me when she looks back on the show and be like, wow, you were literally texting me your order on the show. But the Dolphins had the run game in check. Ramondre Stevenson, Ezekiel Elliott, 20 carries on 63 yards. Bradley Chubb had that early forced fumble. X Howard picked off Mac. Ended that third quarter drive where the Patriots really had a chance to get into the league. X Howard coming in with the clutch interception. Just wait until Jalen Ramsey is really back with this defense. And this might, and now that's not going to be till December, but that's going to be an even scarier thing to see, knowing that Jalen Ramsey will be back with this defense and honestly might make them even more lethal than they already were before. Miami won the turnover battle despite the time of possession being even and third down. New England was 7 for 15, 4 sacks on the night. That was that Vic Fangio defense. That was that Vic Fangio defense that dialed up those those blitzes with Bradley Chubb and Christian Wilkins against the Chargers when Brandon Staley got out coached and Justin Herbert goes down on later drives in the game so the Dolphins can win the shootout. That's that Vic Fangio defense literally on display. And that was a great hire for them. We know Sean Payton wanted them. We know a lot of teams in the league wanted Vic Fangio as their offensive coordinator. And Vic Fangio is providing it time and time again. And again, just wait until Jalen Ramsey is back. Splash plays for the Dolphins. You got Jalen Waddle on a 32-yard catch, Raheem Mostert on a 43-yard run, River Craycraft on a 22-yard pass. The Dolphins had 5 different receivers with at least one catch that gained more yards than the Patriots' longest gain of the night. I'll read that again. The Dolphins had 5 different receivers with at least one catch, at least one, that had more yards gained than the longest yard gain for the Patriots in the entire game. Spreading the ball out, run after the catch with the Dolphins, and the Patriots need to be able to move the football. When you force a turnover on Tua with one of your best defensive players as a rookie in Christian Gonzalez, you got to start making things happen. But, just some takeaways from the Patriots here. So, New England held Miami's offense really mostly in check throughout the first quarter of this game. And of course, some of that was, the Dolphins only did run one drive through the first quarter, which was 13 plays to go 81 yards. They only get a field goal out of it. But the Patriots really developed kind of a unique defense designed to limit that Miami passing attack that exploded literally for 17 plays of at least 15 yards in the season opener, which is the most in any NFL game in 11 years since 2012. The Patriots had a defense that limited 17 plays by the Dolphins last week against the Chargers. The Dolphins had 17 plays of 15 more yards, of at least 15 yards. There had never been more in any NFL game since 2012. So what New England did was they had a 3-deep structure utilizing a ton of backed up safeties on the 40. What they did, sorry, I'm just making sure I got some things lined up here, guys. New England's solution was a 3-deep structure utilizing a trio of backed up safeties on 40 of the 61 offensive snaps that the Dolphins had. That was the most in a game since at least 2006 when the metrics were first tracked. Nobody played more 3-high safety than Bill Belichick in this game against the Dolphins because he was committed to making them play left-handed. You're not going to get Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle over me. I'm going to bracket them. I'm going to keep that backside of the field hooked up, absolutely on lock, so you can focus on those short and intermediate throws. You're going to have to beat us short and get some yards after the catch, which really, the Dolphins were able to do in this football game. But credit to that Patriots defense again for what they were able to do. But they did as well as they could. The offense didn't capitalize on that blocked field goal or the Tua interception. And they're 0-2 for the first time since 2001. And this is why I had the Patriots only winning 5 games this year. They're outmatched in a lot of places talent-wise on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive line is all out of sorts, especially at the right tackle position right now. And the Dolphins started piling up those quarterback pressures in the second half, with the Patriots being in obvious passing situations. They try to mount a comeback here. Mac Jones was under pressure on 30.4% of his dropbacks in this game, sacked 4 times. And when you drop back 104 times in the first 2 weeks of the season, like Philadelphia and Miami are going to see that. They've got a Jalen Phillips and a Christian Wilkins to send after you. Philadelphia's got all of those dogs on the defensive line to send after you. That defensive line coming off of 40 sacks, 10 sacks of 4 or more players, or 10 or more sacks from 4 players. Like, that's legendary. And the Pats defense not being able to capitalize off of defensive turnovers, that is solely on the offense. Bill Belichick's defense did as much as they could. The defense did as much as they could. Bill's control went as far as it could in this game. And a lot like the Steelers, the Patriots offense was the reason that they weren't able to make things happen. So shout out to the Dolphins for playing versatile. Shout out to them for really making things happen on the road against a Patriots team where they had their best player taken away from them in terms of how the defensive scheme was. They pound the football well. They take what's given to them. And Tua has another nice day at the office as they win 24-17.